Welcome back, everybody, to another exciting episode of Furu Finance. We have a very great stream for you guys today, bringing the goods. Throughout this bear market, as always, we're going to be talking about a few things. Aside from the usual charts and analysis and things like that, we're going to be talking about, I'm going to talk about the BitBoy crypto situation. If anyone's not on Twitter or not following BitBoy Crypto or watching his YouTube channel, well, Ben Armstrong's YouTube channel, there's a bit of a situation going on there. There's a lot of drama, and obviously he was one of the largest YouTube channels in crypto, so it's appropriate maybe to talk about it a little bit. And the main story is Donald Trump Jr., the son of President Donald Trump, released his Twitter account. His Twitter account released a tweet that was not clickbait. The thumbnail tweet was a real tweet, so we're going to be getting into that. But saying some strong words about the SEC and about Richard Hart and everything like that. So we're going to be getting into that today. Please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But yeah, it's nice. We're having a nice relief rally for Hex and Pulse X. Pulse X is actually pumping more than Hex and Pulse Chain. So it's nice to, at this point, I'd say this would be reminiscent of the type of price action, the type of gains we had on the daily during a bull market, except only, during the bull market happens every day. But this did sort of give me that nostalgic feeling of sentiment during the bull market. So it's nice to see. It's nice to see that. And we're going to be looking at the charts and we'll be making some sort of predictions here and there of where it's going to go. But yeah, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. What's going on in the chat? Compton 310 says that that guy is on crack. Not sure who you're talking to. Who you're talking about? Me or Don Jr. or Richard Hart? I don't know. Bob Stutz, what's going on? Bob is a Patreon. You too could be a Patreon. Link is in the description to the Patreon. Check it out. We got some good stuff in there. Moonmutt, what's going on? Mr. Chuck, Pulse is pumping true. Charles Stone, what's going on? Charles Stone, ALRS. What happened to Donald J. Trump Jr. X account? Explain it, please. Yeah, we'll be explaining it. But there was a tweet saying that he stands with Richard Hart against the SEC. He said it in perhaps a little bit stronger language, but he's saying something to that matter. But yeah, welcome to the stream, man. I hope you are subscribed. And Pulse Chain is definitely real DeFi. I do agree with that. But yeah, guys, all you guys, smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. We can go immediately to gopulse.com before we even look at the charts. If you look at gopulse.com, this is a very interesting play out right here. This is not the kind of activity that we've been seeing over the past couple months. And I don't mean the high volatility to the upside. What I'm referring to is the percentage gains of the 4 coins in the RH ecosystem. So right now, the largest gainer is Pulse X, and the smallest gainer is Hex over the past 24 hours. That's very interesting. Normally, Hex would crash less and pump more. There were exceptions, but the norm was Hex was the smallest loser and the biggest gainer. And usually INC or Pulse X were the biggest losers and the smallest gainers. But everything's been sort of inverted. Right now, the smallest gainer on the day is Hex. like Hex is up 9.25%. And the biggest gainer is Pulse X at 14.5%. Right behind it is INC, and 3 is PLS. So that's very interesting. What could that be telling us? What it could be telling us could be that, during times of high volatility, like on regular days when it's sort of sideways action, maybe 1-2% changes either to the upside or to the downside, you could have Hex being the best performer. But maybe when there's high volatility, Pulse X or INC could be the best performer, right? I mean, that could be something to think about. But it's definitely not conclusive, because I do remember there were times, I think most times, where there was high volatility. I think Hex was the best performer on most days. But that is an interesting observation, and we're going to have to be following this data very closely. But also, while we're at it, 439 billion Pulse X burned. Maybe that could be another reason as to why we're seeing such price action. Maybe finally there's some positive price action due to the buy and burn, right? The biggest whale in the RH ecosystem, the Pulse X buy and burn wallet. Maybe that's part of it. But I think the best explanation is the reflexivity. Pulse X and INC, for that matter, have been crashing the most, and they've been doing just absolutely terrible against Hex and even PLS for a very long time. So since it's been going down very hard and very fast and very much, it's a reflexive system. So when it bounces back, it could bounce back more. But that's no guarantee that it's going to be sustained. I'm actually, if I'd have to choose, I don't think that INC and Pulse X, certainly not INC, but I don't even think Pulse X is going to outperform Hex or Pulse. But that doesn't mean I'm not bullish on Pulse X. I'm very bullish on Pulse X. I think if the RH ecosystem succeeds, I think Pulse X will do very, very well. I don't think INC is going to do that well, even if the ecosystem succeeds, just because if the APR is so high, like there's just going to be a lot more dumping. So I don't see that. I don't see sustained high INC price. I think what's his name talked about it. Dylan talked about it on the Brandon B show that the INC was an onboarding tool. It's not really something that's used for mad gains. But people disagree, and we could have our disagreements. That's fine. But that was an interesting thing, and that's why we started with the gopulse.com window. So if we move on maybe to the charts now, it's like, yeah, Hex is the smallest gainer on the day. But if you look at like the local low, measured from the local low, the percentage gains of all three. Okay, so take out our ruler. This was the bottom of the SEC dump. Okay, you see Hex is up 67.5%. PLS, we'll include the wick, which is a lot more advantageous for Pulse because the wicks are bigger. Pulse, whoops, ruler. Yeah, PLS is up 47%. And Pulse X is a little tricky because if you measure from that same spot, which is most likely your average cost, closer to your average cost, if you're dollar cost averaging, it's 37. But if you did catch the local low, which was just a couple of days ago, then you're up actually a little bit more. So you're up 40, 49, I guess 50%. So you're up a little bit more. But, if you were just dollar cost averaging Pulse against Pulse X, you were doing a lot better in Pulse. But Yeah, Hex is by far the biggest gainer and the smallest loser. So I'm going to have to stick with Hex being my number one, but this is definitely interesting. Oh, unless you count, we're not counting this wick. It doesn't count. Definitely interesting. Definitely interesting. Also, like Hex got as high as about nine about 0.0092. So that's like 9/10 of a penny. So a 10% move away from a penny. And then once it's at a penny, it's at 2x. It's a 2x away from prices pre-SEC FUD. And if Hex within the next few months gets back to 2 cents, which I think it will, and I think it could, that's really, I mean, that's going to look amazing. That's going to look amazing. It's gotten back to the price that it was before this whole SEC thing. So the entire SEC dump would be canceled canceled out in a 2x from now, in a little more than a 2x from now. And 2x's happen very quickly in crypto. And you'll see sentiment will flip very, very quickly. Finally, we'll have some people be in gains instead of being in the red the entire time. You know, if you're dollar cost averaging, people have substantial gains to talk about. I think it'll be a game changer. It's important to be aware also that, you know, some more bad news could drop with regard to the trial or with regard to more charges, criminal charges, people speculate. So be aware of it. And, you know, nothing's guaranteed, but I'm very optimistic. I'm very optimistic as far as that. That's some cool stuff there for you guys as far as the charts are concerned. But yeah, guys, hit the like button and subscribe. And then this was pointed out by Tangent on Crypto 7's stream this morning. And this morning, PLS was up 40%. Like it was head and shoulders above the market. That's really good. Good marketing. Finally, good marketing. Finally, Pulse is standing out on the biggest gainers. It's standing out on the crypto bubbles chart. I used to check the crypto bubbles thing every day, but there was so much bad price action. I just stopped looking at it. So this is really overdue and well-deserved to anybody that's been accumulating PLS. So big shout out to Tangent for pointing that out. And I think that's really good. And I think when good things happen, we have to point them out because a lot of people overlook it during a bear market. And yeah, I guess just moving on to the last thing that we'll talk about. As far as the numbers, Hex daily stats is looking pretty good. Hex daily stats, change in current stakers, 14 change in current stakers, and 25 change in current holders. So double digits on both current stakers and holders on Hex. Obviously, Hex on Pulse Chain, obviously. Goes without saying at this point. So every single day for the past over 13 days, there's been net increases in wallets holding Hex on Pulse Chain. So that's more adoption for Hex and more adoption for Pulse Chain. So don't forget that. Don't forget that. I'm here to keep reminding you of that. I mean, that's just a great thing. You tell people that despite all this negative price action, which is due to the reflexivity and the volatility of crypto markets in general, and being in a bear market, and it's also due to some of this bad SEC news. Despite that, more people are staking and buying Hex. So that's really good. That's the kind of thing that you would want to show investors, you know, when you're trying to recruit investors for your company, you know, showing them that, oh, maybe the valuation's bad, but look, we're getting new customers every single day. I think that's something that people would be very impressed by. So the community is growing. It's not shrinking, despite what it would seem like if you're on Twitter or whatever. So that was some good news. So that's it for your numbers. And I guess we'll get into the news shortly. of obviously the BitBoy crypto fallout and the Donald Trump Jr. The big news, the main story shortly. But 50 people watching. Smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. Another bullish indicator, 50 concurrent viewers during the bear market, you know, getting regularly over 1,000 views on live streams, sometimes getting over 100 concurrent viewers despite all this downturn. That should really tell you something. Look at the other channels. I saw channels that have like 20, 30,000 subscribers, crypto channels that do live streams, and they get like 5 concurrent viewers. I have 5,000 subscribers, and I cover the Richard Hart ecosystem pretty much exclusively, almost exclusively, and I get very solid viewership despite all the bearish news and the bearish price action. So when everything comes back, I'm pretty confident that things are gonna do very well. I'm pretty confident. Also, there's speculation that the Fed is going to pause their rate hikes today, but that would be pretty bullish, I guess. But we're going to have to see what they decide maybe in an hour or two, and we'll talk about it tomorrow. But yeah, that is that. Let's just take a look at your chats real quick. Kai, good morning. Why is there a price difference between EHEX and PX? Should it be the same price? How does this affect the HEX ecosystem? That's a great question, Kai. Well, the reason why we have PHEX, I call it just HEX, is because HEX was originally on Ethereum, but Ethereum became too expensive to stake. Even now, it's a little costly to end your stake, but during the bull market, the gas fees on Ethereum was so high that, you know, it usually, very often, especially if you weren't an OG, if you weren't in early, it costed you more to end your stake, cost you more in gas fees to end your stake than the total value of the stake in and of itself. So Ethereum was not scaling. So Richard Hart said, hey, we're going to fork Ethereum and we're going to have it faster and cheaper. And that's where HEX will reside, and you'll be able to stake it. So obviously people value the HEX on the chain that, you know, is scaling, and that's stake that you can stake on. That costs you just a couple pennies to start and end your stake. Obviously, people would prefer owning that HEX. It's also native to Pulse Chain, which is Richard Hart's chain. So that's why there's a price difference. And I think that the price difference, and that's why I only support PHEX or HEX, because I like to stake by HEX, and I don't like to get screwed in gas fees. So I think that it's going to be sustaining the price difference. I think it'll increase over time. Good question. You must be new. Please like and subscribe. Oh, what's going on? I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. What's going on? Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you. What's going on, Davis? Big shout out to Davis. Yeah, we did show that, Mr. Chuck. Yeah, we did show that. And Mike, good morning. Good morning, Mike. Mike is a patron. We appreciate you. So yeah, we'll get into everything. Oh, you're new. Well, welcome. You must be one of the net increases in current holders and stakers. But yeah, big shout out to Kai. Welcome. Nice to see. Maybe you're a Donald Trump Jr. on board. Yeah, I'm kidding. Okay, so before we talk about the Donald Trump Jr. story, BitBoy Crypto did his first stream today. Not BitBoy Crypto. Ben Armstrong, formerly known as BitBoy Crypto, did his first stream today. And there's just a lot of drama going on there. And there's just a lot of drama going on there and a lot of dirt going public, and it's gotten very messy. So basically, you had Ben Armstrong started BitBoy Crypto. It ended up becoming wildly successful. It became the second largest crypto channel to only Coin Bureau. So that happened. He experienced a lot of success, and he got investors, apparently. Hit Network, I guess, they invested in him, and he wasn't at the driver's seat. I mean, he was, but technically he wasn't completely in control. He wasn't the sole owner. And then what ended up happening was Hit Network moved very quickly and abruptly to remove Ben Armstrong from BitBoy Crypto, meaning the founder of the channel got kicked off his own channel. And obviously BitBoy wasn't happy about it. And they said it was because he was relapsing on drugs. I forget the exact statement, but he was making it a very stressful work environment. And he was doing some bad things to people, and they had to take action, whatever. So BitBoy did not take too kindly to that originally. And then what happened was he made like an apology video with his wife. Oh, and he was having an affair on his wife. So he was doing a lot of stuff that maybe they allege he was doing a lot of stuff that he shouldn't have been doing. So basically he made a video with his wife crying and talking about how, so BitBoy said that TJ and a bunch of other people at the network just wanted to coup him. It was all fake. All the allegations were fake, and he was just trying to make a coup. They just wanted him out so they can take over the BitBoy Crypto channel. They really wanted it to be about. They didn't want it to be about Ben. They wanted it to be about them. They wanted control. So that's what he alleged. And then what ended up happening was BitBoy ended up releasing a video with his wife where he was crying, and he said, I was taking steroids. I'm sorry. A lot of what they said was true, not all of it. He said that he had an affair, and he apologized for having an affair, and he wanted to get better and come back to the company. So he ended up making this whole apology video, admitting to a lot of things, basically saying that a lot of things that these people in fact said were true. There was credibility to it. And then what ended up happening was, and this was a little bit of what ended up happening was the BitBoy Crypto crew, which is now Discover Crypto, ended up making a video. And what they did was they basically took the Ben Armstrong apology video and they used it to validate their credibility and to really give Ben Armstrong the boot. Like, they're like, he was having an affair with his wife, and cut away to BitBoy Crypto apologizing and crying and saying, yeah, I'm sorry, like I cheated. And then he said, and he was using steroids and making it hard for workers. Cut away to him crying. They basically took his entire thing. Like, Ben Armstrong did it so he could hopefully make the company whole again and get back together and get back on his channel. And they took that video and they used it as justification for their actions and basically made it like he's never ever coming back. So that's why lawyers tell you to shut the F up, because anything that you say can be held against you. And Ben wasn't quiet, and this obviously is in a court of law, but you see the dynamics playing out. Ben wasn't quiet. They took what he said and they held it against him. They used it as justification to out him. Okay, so that's what happened. And now, like, things got really dirty. Like, Ben took offense to this, and he was obviously very hurt. And I can't blame him. I mean, they made a public video sort of humiliating him on the channel that he really started, that he put his heart and soul into for like 2 years or something. And Davis is saying Ben said they took his Lambo, they stopped paying his wife's American Express bill, which is maxed out. They took a lot of his stuff. They took his NFTs. They took everything. They took a lot. I don't know about everything. Seems like they really took everything. They used, and they probably were able to do that. They were able to justify it with that video that he said, which is why you shut up, which is why Richard Hart is not talking. Okay. For anyone that's wondering, anything that you say could be held against you in a court of law. You have to be careful. Like, these people, they probably approached him like, hey, oh, you're sorry, maybe make a little video about it and we can discuss, getting back together. And they completely pulled the rug out from under him with that. I don't know if that's exactly how it played out, but it seems like it. So yeah. So now Ben is claiming that one of the workers, one of the top people at BitBoy Crypto, formerly his company, was sending him death threats. People were sending threats against his wife and children. And he's lost a lot of his money. I mean, he's been asking for donations. He's lost a lot of money, if not all his money, if not everything. He put out his donation wallet on Twitter, and he's asking people to give him a little something here and there because he's really broken, stuff like that. So he's in a very, very sad situation. He's in a very sad situation. And here's what I'm going to say. Okay, here's what I'm going to say about this. And it's not the typical take. It's probably not what many of you guys are thinking. But, there is a sort of like thing about BitBoy. Like, people feel like they could relate to him. He comes across as like a very genuine person and a very relatable person. Like, he's like a little overweight. He was down in life. He lost everything. He was an addict. He recovered from an addict. Like, he was homeless. He struggled a lot, and many people could relate to it. He wasn't like the perfect person, and he had a meteoric rise and stuff like that. So I think that's something that people really like about him, and it's gotten a lot of sympathy from his from people in crypto in general. I mean, he's synonymous with crypto now. And Davis says, I heard he raised 120 Ethereum from the fundraiser already. This tweet came out this morning. So like, people really like him. But here's what I'm going to say. I remember when I first got into crypto, I started to get crypto with like XRP, like 2018. But like, I really got into it when Bitcoin started climbing, when it hit like 15,000 on its way up to the recent all-time high. I was watching BitBoy Crypto, and he was having these videos. Talking about various crypto projects, and one of them I think was Pamp Coin, and he was making it out like this thing is never going to go down, and not financial advice, but you better buy. And these things ended up completely rugging, and it turns out that he was accepting money to promote these scams, blindly accepting money. He was charging like over $20,000 to do that. So I saw a lot of these videos, and I just like threw money at it. And I didn't throw big money at it, but I'd imagine a lot of people threw a lot more money than they could afford to lose and lost everything because of what he did, which was completely unethical. So he was doing that very frequently. It was just like he was just using his channel to promote indiscriminately rug pulls for a lot of money. He was also basically a big YouTuber called him out, this guy Atozi, and he tried to serve him a lawsuit. He tried to sue him and bully him into silence. And Atozi obviously didn't take kindly to that and was able to really win because he's a big YouTuber. But there were a lot of smaller YouTubers that called him out on his unethical behavior, and he bullied them. He bullied them into shutting up with his big money. So you have that. He also cheated on his wife, and like I'm not trying to be like holier than thou, but I'm saying like, and like I'm not trying to kick him when he's down, and I'm not trying to be this Mr. Moral kind of person, whatever. But not the most ethical behavior, let's just say. Not something of a truly honest and genuine person. saying, and then he said that the video, the apology video he made, which he was crying in, was fake. Like he was saying that it wasn't fake, but he didn't really mean it. Like he was bullied into it. So it's like, so you were disingenuous there. Like you didn't mean anything you said. You were just saying, like, I mean, so I think death threats are a terrible thing. I don't think anyone should ever threaten someone's life or the life of their loved ones. I think that's abhorrent behavior, and these people should be dealt with to the full force of the law, and they should be punished for any of that sort of thing. But there is some sort of poetic justice to how things are playing out with BitBoy. I mean, seemingly, and like he's saying now that they're all a bunch of snakes at BitBoy, at Hit Network, I guess now, TJ, and he's bad mouthing all of them, and it's like, I don't know if I believe him. It's like, it's one thing if like someone who's honest and upfront and clean would be saying the sort of things that he's saying, that everyone's out to get me. Like if Benjamin Cowan would say that, then I'd believe him, because he's a very ethical person within crypto, and there's many others like that, that if they'd say it, I'd believe him. But after he had the affair, he admitted that he was on steroids, and he was acting, and he was contributing to a bad workplace morale. He was lashing out at people. He was promoting scams for money that wrecked people. After like all those things that we just talked about, like, I don't know if what he's saying is true. I mean, I'd have to hear their side of the story. I'm not so quick to believe him at this point. And honestly, I feel bad. I don't want to kick him when he's down, but there is sort of some poetic justice to what he's experiencing now, because think about how many people he may have hurt with his behavior. Just saying. And it's kind of like maybe not the smartest. I don't know about smartest, maybe not like the best, strategically speaking, the best thing to say that about him, because he was very good to Richard Hart, and he was very fair with regard to Hex. But I'm saying, like, I don't know. I'm not so quick to I'd have to hear the other side of the story, honestly. And I think that like him going out there, and he was just saying a lot of dirt on the people at Hit Network, and you just make everyone look bad when you do that. And that's a lesson that I've learned from my experience as a crypto influencer. There were instances where I did that, and it doesn't look good for you, and it makes the person that you're talking about look bad, but it makes you look probably even worse. So just seeing him do that, and seeing his stream today, it was just a bad look. You guys could watch it after this stream, but him just like putting the dirt out on everyone there, it was just a bad look. And I don't wish any bad upon him, but there is a sort of element of poetic justice to what we're seeing with BitBoy Crypto after what he's done. And I don't know if I'm not taking anything he says at face value at this point. He's proven to not be a trustworthy person, not be a straight and narrow person. Like, so that's what I'd say. I think that's what I'd say. But that's it for the BitBoy Crypto thing. Smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that already. But let's get into the main story. Is the Donald Trump Jr. So Donald Trump Jr. is the son of former President Donald Trump, and we like to call Richard Hart Crypto Trump because they're very similar. They're very entertaining. They're very charismatic. They're very polarizing. The people that love him. They will do anything for him. And the people that hate him. They will do anything to see, their demise. They like people that love Donald Trump would do anything for him. Like Trump made the joke that he could go shoot someone and they'd still support him. And I think the same holds true for Richard Hart. He's just adored, and then the people that hate Trump, obviously, we know hate him very much, to say the least. And you see that with Richard Hart. You know, I mean, the people that are not fans of his are not fans of him. So yeah, Donald Trump has a son named Donald Trump, and Donald Trump has 10.4 million followers on Twitter, or X, I should say. 10.4 million. He's huge. I mean, this guy is an A-list celebrity, obviously. Regular appearances, cable news, and obviously his credentials speak for themselves. So you had that, and then you had this morning, I look on my feed, and I see Wales Only post a screenshot of Donald Trump Jr., and the profile pic is blank. And it says, Richard Hart is innocent. When I become president, I am going to burn the SEC. Tags Richard Hart. So my first reaction is, and you can see the date, like this was 9/20/23. First of all, it's not a quote tweet. It's a screenshot. Second, there's no profile pic. So I'm like thinking, like, come on. You shouldn't be like, I see a lot of people that make the fake tweets, but like Wales Only, you're one of the biggest people in the space. You're like one of the biggest people in the ecosystem. You're doing this? Like, really? Like, come on. Be better. Be better. That's what I was thinking. And it turns out I was wrong. I was wrong. Oh no. So then Dollar Cost Crypto, big fan. And he's been on the stream, and he's been very good, even when I was considered polarizing, which I still am to an extent. You know, like, he didn't care. You know, a lot of people would say, when people would come on my stream, people would DM them like, don't go on his stream, don't go on Furu Finance's stream, he's footing my bags, EHEX, etc., etc. He didn't care. He's one of the biggest people, and he blessed me and came on the stream, and I'm really grateful, and I think you guys should all be following him. And obviously, he's one of the first people that I saw in the space, and he's one of the biggest people. He ranked number 4 on most influential people in the Hex Pulse Chain ecosystem. So then he does it, and this time it has a profile pic, and I'm like thinking, really? Like, Dollar Cost Crypto's doing this also? Like, what's going on? And then I searched the tag at Richard Hart at Donald Trump Jr. Wait, where is it? And yeah, I got like posts where it had the tag, and then it says this post is unavailable. It was deleted because I looked at Donald Trump Jr. It was down. You know, the post was gone. So I'm like, this actually did come from his Twitter account. You see it here. And then you see like at Donald Trump Jr. at Richard Hart Win, and the post is unavailable, which means likely that tweet was real. I think that doesn't make any sense. Like, that is crazy. Like, the son of the former and possibly future president of the United States was tweeting about the SEC, about Richard Hart, you know, tweeting in solidarity with Richard Hart against the SEC. That was really crazy. And I'm thinking, like, this is crazy. It can't be real. He's 10 million. What's the biggest like Twitter account that retweeted Richard Hart or mentioned Hex or anything for that matter? It's maybe 1 million, and a lot of them were not, like, the followers were very inactive, mostly because, you know, that's what happens with big crypto Twitter accounts. When the bear market comes in, like, their followers are inactive. That's not the case with Donald Trump Jr. Like, 10 million real followers. I mean, this guy is the real deal. So it turns out that he had some other tweets, and I'm not going to read them, but as you can see, it says pinned F Joe Biden, stupid, expletive, N-word. My dad owns at Elon Musk bum. This is from Donald Trump Jr. And then obviously the Richard Hart tweet. And then I'm sad to announce he says that his father, that Donald Trump passed away, and he's going to be running for president. Obviously, things that aren't true and not exactly the language that would be characteristic of Donald Trump Jr. You know, and I Googled it, and it turns out that Donald Trump Jr.'s X account was hacked. This is all over. This is all over all the news. And it was probably hacked by someone within the community. Got some smart people in the community. And obviously I'm not advocating for this sort of behavior. It's very bad, but it's pretty crazy. Somebody hacked into Donald Trump Jr.'s Twitter account to post in support of Richard Hart. So that's pretty crazy. I mean, maybe it wasn't someone, maybe, I don't know. Not too many people know about this Richard Hart thing. So that's really crazy. And I guess the question is, like, who's next? Is this going to be like, he was able to get into Donald Trump Jr. So is he going to hack into other large Twitter accounts? It's going to be like, he's going to be hacking into Oprah Winfrey's Twitter account. It's going to be the new outrage marketing for Hex. Hack into Joe Biden Twitter account saying, like, I'm firing Gary Gensler for the repulsive false charges towards Hex Pulse, hashtag Pulse, hashtag PulseX founder Richard Hart. Is that like the next thing? That would be crazy. If he could do it to Donald Trump Jr., I mean, he could probably do it to anyone. And I'm not condoning this behavior. Do not do it. If you're do not do it. Do not do it. But I mean, it does make you wonder. It does make you wonder what's next. And the article that I clicked was Forbes, because Forbes says Donald Trump Jr.'s X account. This is Forbes. This is one of the stupid ads. Can't stand it. Biggest news outlets, magazines in the world, right? I want to be on the cover of Forbes magazine. Donald Trump Jr.'s X account fired off a string of incendiary tweets about President Joe Biden, Jeffrey Epstein, and crypto influencer Richard Hart. Right there, Forbes magazine. I mean, that's some incredible marketing. This is some 4D chess right here. This is some talk about, people like to say Richard Hart's doing 4D chess and shaking out the bad hand, the weak hands. I mean, how about that? Subsequent bogus tweets declared Richard Hart is innocent, referring to the crypto influencer recently charged by the Securities and Exchange Commission with defrauding investors, while vowing that Trump Jr. would burn the SEC if he's elected to the White House. That's crazy. And I'm sure that this is not the only major news outlet that's mentioning Richard Hart. I just didn't want to go through all of them. So that's crazy. That's pretty nuts. This was not clickbait. That tweet was not clickbait. That tweet was real. So there you have it. You know, forget about NASCAR. This guy, NASCAR, how much was the car? How much did they spend? How much money did they spend to get that Hex car in NASCAR? The JJ Yeely car that didn't even make it to the tournament, or to whatever you call it. They spent like, I don't know, it was like 50 grand or something. This guy got a Twitter account with 10 million active followers to tweet about Richard Hart and the SEC and get all over Forbes, NBC, ABC, CBS, Reuters, to get that news all over Reuters for free, illegally, by the way, which I'm not supporting. I think I don't think it's a good thing to do, but I mean, that is interesting. That is an interesting thing to consider. But then the price pumped, and people are calling it the Donald Trump Jr. pump. this could be something that goes down in the history books. You know, when Hex reaches the $20,000 mark, people are going to point to this candle over here, this candle right over here, and they're going to say like, and then there was the Don Jr. pump. It's like they talk about on the Bitcoin chart, like this was the Mount Gox dump. So maybe this could become the iconic Donald Trump Jr. pump. You know, when Hex becomes the global reserve certificate of deposit currency, #1 crypto market cap, 10 million X thing. This could be known as the Donald Trump Jr. pump. You know, 1 second. But yeah, 70 people watching. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to check out the Patreon, okay? Join the meeting this Sunday at 12 p.m. in the Patreon by clicking the link to the Patreon in the description and becoming a patron. Got some great benefits in the Patreon. So be sure to do that. But obviously, subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you haven't already. Be sure to do that. And let's take a look at your comments. Let's see what you guys are saying. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Knoxville. What's going on, Knoxville? Scott Wright says it's leaf blowers. Leaf blowers. Sorry. Trevor Radlarchik, I think. Forbes is trash now, ran by China Corporation. Hey, I don't know. I don't read Forbes. Where's the, I'm sure it was answered, by the way. And Davis, I'm not sure who you're supporting in the upcoming primaries. I would be interested to hear. Scott Wright says, can we send the Pulse prices back down, please? I want to pack my bags. That's why you got a dollar cost average, because a lot of people, that's the only way to really catch bottoms with efficiency is dollar cost averaging, because a lot of people were waiting for Pulse to maybe go down another 20, 40, 50%. And that's when they wanted to pack their bags. And now that the price pumped, they're not getting it at as low prices, and they're probably stuck with the ultimatum of like, should I buy now or should I wait for it to go back down? And then they wait, and then it goes up more, and then they have to buy even higher, and then they might wait again, and then it goes down, and they just never end up getting it. It goes down, and they say, oh no, it's going to go back lower. That's why if you're confident in the crypto, you got a DCA. That's the only way to really come out a winner, I think, is dollar cost averaging. So I did say that Hex was going to hit a penny. Like, it was going to go over a penny. I thought that the rally would be sustained, and Hex would go above a penny. And it's been, that rally has been sustained, and it's looking like it's heading back to a penny. And the reason why I said it is because we were just, even if the price was going lower, we're due a relief rally. Like, we're due some upside. It's just been so down for so long. But Scott Wright is saying, do you think it will come down a bit? Yeah, it will, but I don't know when. If it goes to like 2 cents and then goes back down to 1 cent, you're still buying up higher. So like, that's why I'm saying, like, you got a dollar cost average. Think about it. I remember when Hex went to 4 cents or whatever. Was that 4 cents? It went, and then it like crashed all the way down to under a penny. And then it went up to 2 cents. And when it was at 2 cents, everyone's like, oh my gosh, I should have bought it when it wicked down 0.008. I had money. I could have easily gotten that. Like, why didn't I buy it? It's like, okay, now it's there. But everyone's saying, oh, shoot, it's so high. I should have bought it back down when it was half a penny. And it's like the price is really the same. It's just the perspective. So if you're long Hex, then it's still cheap. You know, if you believe we're going to surpass all-time highs and maybe never come down, then, I mean, 0.005, 0.008, I mean, who really cares? When Bitcoin was $2, if you bought it when it went to 4 and you didn't catch the $2 bottom, nobody cares anymore. What? You could have had $1 billion, but instead you have 800 million. No one cares. Okay. That's what I'd say. So this is not financial advice, and you should do your own research, everything like that. But I think a dollar cost averaging is the best way to go. In my opinion, not financial advice. We have Korypto Stylist. Let's go. I'm ready. Does that mean you want a link? Okay, we'll send a link to Korypto Stylist. Haven't had guests in a while. So we're due. Well, we did. We had Archetype. All right. You got the link. Ball's in your court. But yeah, 70 people watching. Be sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. Crypto Bigfoot says it's a great news outlet. I have a serious question. Do you like tuna on white? No crust? I like the crust. Tuna, it's okay. What's up, Crypto Bendu? What's going on? Degenning hard, I hope. No degenning. And the meme coins are up a little bit, but they're not up nearly as much on the day as Hex per se. So if you sold your Hex a week ago and you degened into the meme coins, you're down a lot. You're down in the sense that the meme coins are down from a week ago, and you're down even more because if you would have just sat on your hands and held Hex, then you would have more money. So like when the meme coins are pumping hard and Hex is down and Pulse Chain's down so much, the native coin for the meme coins, like the native chain for the meme coins, which the success of these meme coins in the long run, if there is any, is completely dependent on Pulse Chain success. Probably want to go with Pulse Chain. Probably. Especially given that the meme coins were up so much. And that's why I said I'm not doing it. I'm waiting my turn. You got to wait your turn. That's how you win in crypto. You gotta wait your turn. That's how you win. But that's crypto there for you. And I just remember the bull market. Like every time I got into a position and then there was another coin, which was a top gainer on Binance, or tweeted out by Rand Nooner or one of these other accounts that was pumping up, 20% on the day, 100% on the week, like 400% on the month. Whenever I got out of my position, which was either break even or in the red to chase those green candles, I lost. It never won. It never, ever, ever, ever won. So this wouldn't be the exception. But Korypto Stylist is here, so got to bring her on. Hope this. Hello.
Hi. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, nice to see you.
Okay, nice to see you. I mean, to be honest, I was actually saying, let's go. Like, I'm so ready, like, for the pump. I was so excited to see the chart move. And then you're like, do you want to come on? I was like, actually, yeah, I think I will have a few minutes. I think I'll hop on. I haven't seen you in a long time. How have you been?
I've been great. Yeah. It's nice to see you.
Yeah, nice to see you too. Gosh, doesn't it feel nice? I mean, it feels... It to just see some movement. I just felt like we were stuck for such a long time. It feels good to just see something happen, and Hex is, gosh, it's close to a penny.
Yeah. And I was saying a 2x would erase all the downside from the SEC, like all gone.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking too. I invested a lot the day before the SEC thing.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm so pissed. So I can't really look at the chart because it makes me so sad. But I know it'll come back. And to your point, you were saying, like, people don't care. Like, if they didn't catch Bitcoin at the absolute bottom, if they caught it, 10 times from there, now it doesn't even matter. I think that, 2-3 years from now, it doesn't matter that whether I got in there or right after. But it just, but gosh, these last 2 months, this last month and a half, it really has kind of hurt.
Yeah, no, it was devastating. That's why I said, I said this like 2 weeks ago, we're due at least a relief rally, because it's just been like so devastating for everyone. The news and the price action reflective of it. So
I know. I am ready. I'm ready for something. I hope this one lasts a little bit longer. Do you think it has anything to do with Richard Hart's tweet about where basically he was kind of implying or saying that this is the bottom?
Yeah, let's bring the tweet up. They were talking about it on Crypto 7 this morning.
And they were talking about it also, the Game Theory gang. So Maddie and Axis was on there, and Crispy Man and Toby. The four of them were talking about that, and just whether or not, what does that mean? When Richard Hart, he's so good, he has such so much experience, and he's just got kind of that sixth sense of being able to call tops and bottoms. So is this the bottom? And they were also saying that they were really surprised at how little, people aren't really talking about it that much.
Yeah. Well, you're saying that people aren't talking about the tweet.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of opinions going around. So like one of them is that it's just the reflexivity, the price has been down a lot. And then some people are saying it's the tweet, and some people are now saying it's the Don Jr. tweet, which I'm sure you saw. You saw that, right?
Yes, I saw that. Was that real?
Yeah. Okay. So let's first, I guess, you know what? Let's read the Don Jr. thing.
Okay. Let's read the Don Jr. and then we'll come back to Richard, and then let's talk about.
Look at this. You Google Donald Trump Jr. Don Jr.'s account was hacked. This was The Hill, NBC News. Donald Trump Jr.'s X account was hacked. CNN. They're all reporting on this. And if you look at Forbes, and many other news outlets, said it explicitly. Subsequent bogus tweet declared Richard Hart is innocent, referring to the crypto influencer recently charged by the Securities and Exchange Commission with defrauding investors. Like this was on the Forbes headline right here, top line.
Wow.
Joe Biden, Epstein, and crypto influencer Richard Hart. Like how that's so crazy. So I originally saw it from Wales only. I thought it was a fake tweet. And then dollar cost, I thought also it was fake. I've seen so many fake tweets, but then when I searched the tag for both of their Twitter handles, you could see that in tweets that were explicitly tagging both of them, the original tweet was deleted. Wait, where's the example? Do I even have it anymore? Might have been. Even those might be down, but the original tweet was deleted, and that's where I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And then you saw these other tweets, and you're like, okay, this is not right here. But yeah, this is crazy. So you have 10 million Twitter followers seeing. You have an account with 10 million active Twitter followers seeing Richard Hart being innocent, and then you have all these major news outlets publishing it. It's like yeah, this hacker, he that's some real outrage marketing, let's say.
I mean, seriously, that's kind of brilliant if you ask me, because that gets his name out there to a lot of people who don't know who he is. They're going to look it up and look up Hex and look up what's happening in Pulse Chain and the lawsuit. So no
does that change your perspective, though? Do you think that's the green candle?
I don't know. No, I was thinking it was Richard's tweet, or maybe it's that one. Just no publicity is bad publicity is what some people say. I don't necessarily believe that, but it is getting it out there, whether it's notorious, whether it's through notoriety or through something noble. It's people are talking about it. That is 10 million people who've seen Richard Hart's name and now know that he's in a lawsuit, that now know that he has cryptocurrency, and that possibly could know that he launched this layer 1 chain. That's just, energy that in the system that didn't exist before. And that usually tends to help it grow. Then that's the network effect,
Yeah. So 100% agree. So you know what I said? I don't know if you were watching when I said it, but I said if they could get into, and I'm not promoting this behavior. I think it's very bad. But which Twitter account's next?
Elon Musk, 100%. Okay, I'm gonna get so banned.
No, if you could get into Don Jr., I mean, you can't get into Oprah or something like I don't know. This could be the start of something.
I mean, yeah, I don't want to advocate that kind of, it's
not advocating.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. One of your Scott Wright asks, is it okay to microwave a McDonald's coffee cup? I think that it is. Okay, I don't think it's dangerous, but they're very flimsy, so sometimes they just kind of disintegrate. So I wouldn't do it for very long, Scott. I hope it's not too late.
he might be asking because he's wrecked on crypto, so he's back at McDonald's.
Oh, I'm kidding. Literally asking. Yeah, maybe. I mean,
I think he might be asking. Maybe he's like one of us wrecked people out. The meme, they're putting the McDonald's cap on.
But yeah, you can microwave it, but just do it very carefully, because the thing disintegrates. It's not like the most the strongest cup in the world.
All right.
Gosh. Okay. Well, and then let's pull up the Richard Hart tweet.
Okay, we're pulling up the Richard Hart tweet. When Bitcoin, so this was Richard Hart yesterday or 2 days ago, but when Bitcoin is down 62% and Ethereum is down 68%, your coin might be down too. Remember when I called the top publicly years ago? Remember when ETH dropped about 95% from around 1,500 to 80 in 2018? Now it's 1,600. How much did you load up on that 95% dip? You'd be sitting at 20x your stack now, even after the 68% dip from 5,000 to here. Ask yourself, who were the people selling back then and who were the people buying? Every trade has a buyer and a seller. Remember, I bought Bitcoin back when it was $30 and it went down to $2 shortly thereafter. Now it's $26,600. Cryptocurrencies have done 90% dips over and over. It's not new. What's your original impression on that?
I think he's saying that, well, first of all, don't freak to people to not freak out, because crypto is just doing what it does right now. This isn't unusual. This is actually exactly kind of like on time for what could happens in crypto, this kind of dip, because we had a crazy run up to 55 cents, and that's when I got in, was during that run from 17 cents to 55, or some people say 60. And it was like that kind of white hot and that kind of energy, like it has to recalibrate, it has to reset for if it's real, and this is real, or I believe so. And so the resetting of it, and also in conjunction with the fact that we're in the worst bear market in the history of crypto, I think it's just really made it an especially difficult and especially huge dip. And also the stock split. We faced a stock split. That's what's happened. Hex split in two, and I know your point of view on it. I think we all do. And whether or not, it doesn't matter which hex you believe in more, it's split in two. So that does also dissipates the energy and dissipates the price action, right? So that being said, I think that what he's saying is, one, don't freak out. For everyone who's freaking out, it's doing what crypto is doing what it does, right? And it's super volatile. And he's also saying that his own experience, I mean, gosh, if you put in at what, $30, $20, $30, and it goes down to $2, that's a huge dip. That's over a 90% dip. So, and he's had to endure that. But at the end of the day, now it's at 26,000. So that is just something you endure. But the upside can be so much more that, in crypto, or in his experience, is that you got to stick with it. You have to be tough. That's what he's saying. And also, I think some people are reading into this and saying that he's calling the bottom. I don't know. So
I love the first part. Your take on it is really good, and it does put things into perspective that you need to endure volatility. Volatility is the price you pay for the world's fastest appreciating asset. And this was a great message, and I think it really permeated and really brought things back into perspective. It also showed that like he's not gone, like he's still there, and all that. But I did want to say about the calling the bottom. I feel like if it is the bottom, then everyone's gonna say it was calling the bottom. But like, he has said this many other times, and the price did drop lower. So like, I don't know. I wouldn't say it was calling the bottom. I don't think he calls the bottom. He said he doesn't give price calls with his coins. But
I think, especially in light of what's happening with him right now, to call a bottom would just probably not be a great thing to do. But I think that I think it's just a reminder to zoom out and look, and it's like when you see streams with people who got into Hex day one and what they had to go through that first year and all the FUD, and there was at least we have some proof of concept in that Hex has done a 10,000x from this all-time low, right? And it's really had success. It's really gained, built a really nice community. We have something to hang on to. Those guys had nothing to hang on to. It was just this new crypto. No one cared about Richard Hart. I think his tweet when he announced that Hex launched got like 50 likes. It's just something really depressing like that. And those guys believed it, and they held through. Crazy dip. It dropped so much, and they held through, and they had to hold a long time. So when I listen to that perspective and I talk to the guys who were in it from the beginning, then I think, okay, I just need to calm down and we're in it now, and I just need to ride it out, because that's what they did. And that's why those guys are rich. And the guys that you don't hear about who all, sold or who gave up, you don't hear about them because we don't know where they are, because they're not here to, give the testimonials as to what happened and what could happen. Now, listen, could it all go to zero? 100% it could. We don't know because no one has a crystal ball. But I like hearing from people who have a lot of experience and who've been through multiple cycles, especially people who've been in from the beginning, because their perspective is so much more, I think, precise. And it's just, it helps, because for me, I have only started since 2021. So, I've only seen down. So I'm kind of like, this crypto stuff sucks. Like, I don't know if I like crypto. It's kind of depressing me. I keep putting money in and like,
it's a sacrifice. It's a sacrifice.
It really is. It really is. But I'm not going to stop now. So
I know we're just too far in. I was saying, you know what I said? I said that the people that so you look at the highest stakes movie, and there were a lot of people out there when the price was 50 cents. People were just selling everything to buy Hex, right? So the house that was $260,000 or something, or whatever. Well, no, it was like $500,000. It got the guy like 250,000 Hex in the movie or something. 250,000 Hex.
That's so sad. I know.
No, so right now, and I'm never an advocate for selling houses or anything that's valuable to you for buying crypto, but right now, I could get a house's worth of Hex for like $2,000, and like I for $2,000, I'm getting what people were selling their cars and their house and all their prized possessions for at the top of the bull market. I'm getting that for $2,000 right now, but you don't see anyone doing that now. Like, you don't now. Nobody wants to. It's like the Drake meme, like,
Okay,
it's like,
but I know that that's like the story that everyone likes to tell because it's so extreme. But I think that guy, didn't he sacrifice a lot of that Hex, and he sacrificed the Hex when it was at a high value, so he didn't lose as much value as if he just held it.
Well,
So
I did hear that. That's true.
Yeah, so he did get to recoup a lot of value and sacrifice quite a bit in the Pulse chain. So I think he has if he hasn't sold it, he has a nice stack of Pulse.
Yeah. Well, that's true, but the overall point is still salient. Like that. Yeah. That people are waiting for lower prices now. Like, you're getting so much for so little money, but like nobody wants to buy, and it's like they feel like they've given up so much money. But it's important to remember that even if you put in very little money, like even if you put in $100 now, you can't put in like 5,000 at a time. Let's say you can only afford $100, $200. You're still getting so much more Hex for that little money. So it's hard to put the opportunity into perspective when the price is down so much because everyone's wrecked. But ultimately, if this thing comes back, I mean, the opportunity is huge, and you don't have to put in a lot of money now to get a lot of Hex.
When I put in my first Hex buy, and I don't want to like dox myself, but there's so many transactions. So my first Hex buy was $6,600, and it bought me 36,776 Hex.
Wow.
$6,600 would buy me over 2 million E-Hex, and it would buy me almost 1 million Hex.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? Like, that's crazy.
It is crazy. And I remember like just like to get like one T share, I had to put in a lot of cash. Let's just say that. But now they're like really cheap. So I don't have as much dry powder, but it's going very far. It's going very far.
Yeah, exactly. It goes far. It's worth it to DCA, in my opinion, or at least that's what I'm doing. And I'm not telling other people what to do, but for me, if I just do a little bit at a time, money that I would have blown on a dinner or money I would have just spent on something stupid that I don't need, I put that in, to DCA, and hopefully it pays off.
100%. So like, also another important thing to remember is that, the whole everything in crypto is down, like except for Bitcoin and Ethereum. Every altcoin community is wrecked, and most of them aren't even communities anymore. They don't even exist. So like, there's no reason to be worried. What would be worrying is if like altcoins are starting to run up against like Bitcoin and make new all-time highs, and Hex is getting left behind. But it's really just par for the course. It's like not worrisome.
Other than the occasional freaky meme coin.
You have a take on the meme mania? I don't know if you've been watching my videos on the meme.
I have, and I think this is my take on it. My take is that anything that generates that much action and participation on Pulse chain, I'm really happy. I hope people are, taking into account that meme coins are really, really, really risky. So if you are choosing to invest in that, gosh, it's got to, I hope I would only do it with money that I don't mind if it goes to zero. You know, that's my take on it. I played a little bit with it because I was like, why not? But a very, very small amount. And you know, and it's who knows? I mean, the whole PDI story is, and the Atropa. I've actually watched quite a bit of content on that. I think it's too early to say. We don't know. And I mean, so, but it's really amazing how it's done well. It's really done well, and it's been able to. When it dips, it goes back up. I don't know if it's going to keep maintaining this, but it's just such a mystery. No one knows who's behind it. I don't think it's Richard Hart. People think it's Richard. I don't think that.
Yeah, I think Richard would say he was behind it if you were behind it. I think people are sort of just trying to take advantage of the streaming absence, you know, and the mysteriousness to create their own narrative. But as far as the meme coins, I say this, like a lot of people say like it pumps Pulse Chain, it raises awareness for Pulse Chain. Like that might be good for Pulse Chain, but it's like, but that doesn't mean it's gonna do well. It's like you guys could go pump your raise awareness to Pulse Chain in your own corner. But I think that I think one or two of them are probably gonna sustain themselves, like for
the teddy bear. I think is done really well. And then PDI, I think is okay. So
yeah, I think of all the meme coins, but just think about like how many meme coins like everyone was shilling for the past 5 months or whatever, or even before even Pulse Chain launched. They're all wrecked. Like they're all going they all went to zero. There was like Pulse Bitcoin, there was Pulse Doge, there was RBC, there was Pepe. Everyone was talking about that. They all had their time in the sun, and then they just got rugged. So like maybe this will be the one, but I don't think so. I mean, just odds are it won't. And even if it is, like if you're the type of person that's really just chasing meme coins, then you probably don't have any money anymore. You got wrecked in the other.
Yeah, I mean, I figured if I have extra dry powder, if the most I will deviate from the RH system is I'll buy a little bit of ETH. And I only buy that because when I end my stakes, because I do, don't hate me, but I have EHEX and I have a lot of stakes. And so I don't want to emergency end stake them. And when they're ready and that time is up, I'm afraid that Ethereum is going to be so expensive. So I've stacked some ETH for that.
So I also have EHEX stakes. Believe it or not. Hard to believe, right? I have them, and my approach is just like see what happens. You know, maybe it'll be worth more. I think EHEX is going to do something. I just don't think it's worth like risk reward to Hex. I think it's just not worth it for me. But I just sort of have that see what happens. And before Pulse launched, I was actually also accumulating ETH to end my stakes. But then I figured like, may as well just accumulate more Hex and then sell it liquid Hex and just sell it for ETH to end my stakes, because I felt like Hex is going to do really well against ETH anyway.
That's true. But for those who believe, and I'm not like a super diversifying, that's not, but just to have one thing that's not, not in the system, but that I'm going to use to help with my other assets in the system. I just figure that's kind of my justification for having some Ethereum, but I'm not pushing Ethereum.
Yeah. I think ETH is good. If I had if I had big money, I'd definitely be buying ETH, but like,
I look at it like a stable coin that might, it's not going to go up that much, but I just look at it as stable. That's how I look at it. But hey, Archie's in the chat. I can't type because I have to sign through. I haven't signed up, whatever. So if I want to say hi to Archie,
I'll say hi to Archie for you.
Okay, what else is going on? So you haven't seen the movie. I haven't seen the movie either. I'm so embarrassed. It came to London. There was a premiere, but I had a really good friend in town and I haven't seen him in like 6 or 7 years. So I had dinner with him, and turns out he's super into crypto and would have seen the movie with me. So that was kind of a wasted opportunity, but I really want to see it.
Yeah, when's it coming to Netflix? When's that happening?
I don't know. Are you doing anything for the Pulse Chain tour? Are you speaking at any of the
I don't know. I might not be
persona non grata? Wait, did you piss off RG3?
I have tremendous respect for RG3. I'm trying. I really cut back on the drama. He did block me.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go tell him to unblock me. I'm
Okay,
gonna be
I'll
really
tell
nice. I'm being presidential now. No, because I did. So I was doing the whole EX thing, but then I'm just thinking like, yeah, I could do the scoreboard and rub it, but like we're all down a lot. It's like stupid, you know, like yeah, okay, Hex is up 2-1, but like we're all down. I made the point. I want nothing but good relationships with people now.
This is what I think. Would be my advice to you as a friend, right? I consider you a friend, and I think that just you just shill P Hex or Hex as much as you want. Just shill it. And if you don't have to say anything negative about E Hex. Just don't say anything at all, and just talk about P Hex. Talk about things you love. You know, keep it positive.
I am keeping it positive. The only thing the only thing that I'm concerned though is that I feel like a lot of people are just like buying EHEX because it's cheaper, and I think a lot of them don't realize how costly it is to end the stake. And I just want them to know that,
but those guys are not staking. Nobody's staking right now.
No, people
buying it. They're buying it so that to keep it liquid, so that when the price goes up, they can flip it. That's what they're doing.
Well, people are staking. I look at Hex daily stats every day. So this is one of the things that I like to show people, and this is the only mention that I do of it. Like I don't really. Even if people attack me, I don't respond. I think it's not healthy anymore, and
don't put yourself out. Like you make yourself vulnerable when you get that against one thing in the system that a lot of people have a lot of money in, and then they're gonna come at you. So
yeah, well, they blocked me.
You don't need that.
We don't need that.
Yeah,
it's true. But
you're trying to do good. I know that you are, because you stream every day and you're so dedicated. And I think that you're a really good person. I just think that maybe your approach was, you tried it and you saw the result, and maybe you should look at a different approach.
Thank you for saying I'm a good person. Yeah, no, this is the only thing I really talk about. Like if you look at, this is Pulse Chain, so there is net positives, and there are new onboards. Like first of all, like 25, 32 to like every single day 71. Like this is some good numbers. Like a lot of people being onboarded, but also not as much staking. But there is net inflow of staking, despite all the bad price action. So that means like people, the community is on Pulse Chain, and that I think is going to be indicative of like future price performance. If you look at Ethereum, I mean every day it's losing stakers. Like people are not staking there, and I think stakers are a good indicator. Current holders and current stakers. I don't like the miners thing. I think staking is better. It's Ethereum it's gaining a little bit in holders, but it's losing stakers. So I think that is an indicator of where the money's going and where the most opportunity is going.
I think it's too early to say. I mean, I think what is going to be interesting to see is when the institutions get into Hex, and on which chain do they go. If Pulse Chain by then is established enough, then they will go onto Pulse Chain. But a lot of people are super in that world, are just so conservative. They only want to go with a thing that's been around for 7+ years, and so they'll do it on Ethereum. Other thing is that Ethereum could very well reduce its fees. That's supposed to be the next upgrade, where it's going to significantly decrease the fees. Let's see if it happens. It very well may not, but if it does, then I think that would really be good for the price action of EHEX. Those are the two things that I'm really holding out for. I believe in both, so I like both and I hold both.
All right, that's
Yeah.
fair. And yeah, I mean, so I the point that I'm making though is like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it
Mm.
to because like I'm trying to FUD ehex sort of thing, and I'm
Mm.
definitely not trying to hurt other people. Although
Yeah.
I have, to be honest, like it got dirty, and the blame could. It's multifaceted. It's complicated, but the
Mm.
point is that I did it because I'm just trying to. I don't want. I really strongly believe that the future of Hex is on Pulse Chain,
Mm.
and I don't want people to be like I hate it when people say like, look, it's the same thing, it's just ehex is like half off, and it's like I feel like people are going to listen to that and they're just going to not buy hex on Pulse Chain, and they're going to end up holding a lower less appreciating asset, like an underperforming asset, and they're going to be spending a pretty penny on gas fees, and I don't think that's good. I think it's best. I think if people want to look at ehex, I think that's everyone's own prerogative. You know, I'd say advanced players only. Like you have to really understand both of them and the differences, and Pulse Chain and Ethereum and everything like that. And if they wanna dabble in ehex, that's fine. But I just don't like it when people make it like it's the same. It's just one's cheaper, and there's
It's
maybe going to
true.
be
It's
parity.
not the same.
It's not the
It's not the
same.
same, and we don't know what's going to happen. So that's true. It's not the same. So, but okay. And then you're streaming every day, right?
We're on every day at 12 Eastern.
Okay. Okay. And are you still not talking to Johnny Chaos? I like Johnny Chaos. It makes me sad. You guys are really cool. I liked you guys streaming together, but is that like I haven't followed everything. I'm not trying to stir stuff.
He also blocked me. I did say, I said I'm done with the attacking. I just would appreciate if people don't attack me.
Well,
But
maybe you should reach out to him privately.
I can't.
Take responsibility. You okay?
I'm gonna. This is my reach out. Like Johnny, I hope everything's okay with you. I hope you unblock me, and everything like that. To be fair, he did start it. I sound like a 5-year-old when I say that.
You do. You sound like a 5-year-old. You need to just stop.
He did block me, and then he
just
started.
Be the bigger man and just say you're sorry. I take responsibility for what you contributed to the situation. You guys used to be friends, and it's sad. And it's Archie said that he was quoting Sami, like he says that we need to stick together in this game, and he's 100% right. Sami is right. We need to stick together. We can't start infighting. So because that's not we need each other. We're still a small community compared to the whole, relative to the whole crypto system. We're still a niche, and we need to not be niche.
Yeah, it's true, and it is a little annoying. I'm sort of like boxed out in to a lot of the community. Like, I'm banned. I don't want to mention names, but we did say RG3 did. I think I had a spec. Did you see my top 10 chart? Top 10.
I did. Influencers.
I think RG3 might have not liked that I didn't put him in there.
I don't think he cares about that. I really don't.
That was when I got the block.
He's not ego. I think you said something about like being old, or I watched that stream and I was like,
what?
Oh,
what did I say?
I think you said something about like, well, some streamers may have big following, but they're old, so they're not relevant, or something about a little bit ageist.
Did I say you can't teach an old dog new tricks? Is that
it was I remember thinking, oh, that was kind of mean. I remember. I had to go back and watch it.
I said
that was a fun stream overall, but think about maybe you should go back and look at what you said. I'm
sorry for what I said.
You should say sorry to RG3 too.
RG3, I'm sorry.
He's a good person.
He is a good person, and honestly, I think it was a mistake to not put him in the list.
I think so too, and he's done a lot for this community.
I think the list was. I didn't mean to hurt anyone, because a lot of people that I put in unfollowed or blocked me, but I put them in anyway. So I think it was very fair, except I think the RG3 one, it wasn't. RG3's done a lot. it was meant to be like a current list, like of like at the moment.
Mm.
But RG3 should be in there.
He
RG3
should be in there.
RG3
Maybe you should do a new one.
I did say okay. I don't want to say what I'm going to take out, but I think RG3 should be there, and I think I think he should unblock me, and I'm sorry if I said anything that hurt RG3.
Okay, Furu, I have to go, but I am so glad that I got to say hi to everybody who's in the chat and watching. I really appreciate you, and I think that I can help you. Let's help you mend some of these situations. Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Well, where could people find you on Twitter?
Twitter, I'm at Korypto. Yeah, at Korypto Stylist. And I'm basically on YouTube. I just kind of guest stream now. I might start my channel back up again soon. But for right now, you can see me on Furu's channel. I'm just going to invite myself every now and again.
Yeah, no, you're always welcome on.
Okay.
I feel weird like reaching out because like I don't know what some people think about me. So like, but anyone's welcome on the stream. I mean, not anyone, but obviously you and many others.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Bye, Archie. Bye, Scott. Bye, everybody.
All right.
Bye.
We'll just end the stream now, guys. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for coming on Korypto Stylist. We'll be back tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern.
Okay.